Welcome back to MilduraWeekly.com.au. Joining me in the studio today is Mildura Rural City Councillor for Sport and Recreation, Glenn Milne. Glenn, thanks for coming in, mate.
No, it's a pleasure, Vinny.
Always a pleasure to catch up, mate. There's always plenty to talk about in the council realm. Have you in today under your sport and recreation portfolio, following council's decision at the most recent meeting to move a rather special motion, which was to rename number 1 oval at Mildura Recreation Reserve after local sporting identity Brian Weightman, someone that a lot of people know, are familiar with and respect. Just your personal thoughts on that move and what it means for our community and for Brian in question as well.
Oh, look, I think it's fantastic that we're able to do that because there wouldn't be anyone that didn't know the Weightman name.
Yeah.
And, the same with Brian. Like, I guess while everybody knows Flea and that,
Yep.
Great Richmond footballer and all the rest, Brian is a legend around our sporting community, and the work that he's done is just, I guess, beyond comparison in a lot of ways. And I think the good thing is being able to honour somebody while they're still alive.
Which caused a little bit of contention with getting this over the line, I must add, too.
That's right. There's kind of policy there that says that you don't name people while they're alive, or don't name oval streets, etc. after them, and it has been done before.
Yeah.
But I think in some ways that's a bit sad, because I think it's really good to, particularly people that have worked and they're in their later years in life, to actually see the result of that and know that the community has, I guess, appreciated the work that they've done, and then has done something to show that'll be there forever. And he will know that he's been honoured, and when he's gone, the oval will still be there.
Absolutely. This is actually the second time, Glenn, that council's moved a motion to honour a local sports identity by renaming an oval. John Hall, the John Hall Oval out at the old Aero Ovals there at 11th Street springs to mind. You've already touched on it, but I mean, how important is it to pay homage to these identities, whether they're still with us or not?
Well, I think it is really important. Look, it's hard to find people that'll give up so much time, particularly it's getting harder and harder.
Absolutely.
And I guess that becomes an inspiration to people that, the community does appreciate it, the council appreciates the amount of work that people put in as volunteers, freely and happily, in their various passions, sports, whatever. And, I kind of like to do that. I think it's a good thing to go to people and actually tell them how much you appreciate them, and how much what they've done for you or for your club or whatever is worth. And the more of that we do, the better. People in our community put in a lot. We've got a high volunteer rate, and there's a lot of people do a lot of good work for the community. It's always good to thank them. We wouldn't have many of our sporting clubs, we wouldn't have many of our football teams, cricket, all of those, if it wasn't for those people that do an amazing amount of work.
Absolutely. Mildura has been a fantastic breeding ground over the years for local sports identities across numerous disciplines. Is there anyone that springs to mind for you personally, and obviously this is just your own personal view, that maybe could be considered next, and in what way?
Oh, well, I think probably people like Phil Crump, who's an absolute legend, has, demonstrated amazing skill in his sport overseas, brought recognition to Mildura overseas on a world stage, and and Phil he's always given back. He always made Mildura a priority. He always came back to race here whenever he could, and he never asked for much money. He really served his sport really well, and so people like that, I think, they're the names that we should be looking at. And there's probably others. It's a little bit hard. If you miss somebody, you'll be in trouble.
That's right.
But I guess there are other people, and there's probably people in the tennis field. There's probably golfing people. So we need to be mindful of that, and take that opportunity, because again, I think it becomes an inspiration, and it gives people a target to work to, and say, if they really put in, then there will be some recognition at some stage.
And I guess council has demonstrated over the past few months that, if anyone has ideas, that you're more than welcome to have them brought forward, and they'll be considered and looked at.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we're always open to that, and if it's not naming, something after somebody, there's always Australia Day awards and other awards in the community. So make sure that you bring those names forward to council, let us know, and we'll see what we can do.
Perfect. Glenn, thank you so much for coming in.
That's a pleasure.
Be sure to tune back into milduraweekly.com.au for more videos.